Hello, Gio.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Philip. Good morning to everybody who is watching this video and the video podcast. Welcome. It's great to see you again, my friend. It's great to
Likewise.
have another conversation. We're having a conversation every week for those who don't know. So we're going to be consistently uploading videos on these different topics that are going to help businesses scale. So we're trying to, based on our experience as marketing consultants, we want to then have these conversations, open conversations on specific topics. So, the topic of today, let's get into it, Philip, is the importance of consistency in growing your brand. So this can relate to, right, consultants, founders, business owners. If you have a brand, be it a company brand or a personal brand, right, which your personal brand on a lot of occasions is related or directly synchronized with your company, this conversation is going to be of value for you. And we're going to talk about the importance of consistency in growing your brand. Well, first off, I want to say that it's probably, I would say, I don't know what you think, Philip, but I think this topic, especially the key word here, I want to emphasize the key word of this is consistency, right? The key word in that sentence is consistency. And I think that it's probably one of the, I say, more obvious but most difficult
Yeah.
things for a lot of entrepreneurs, founders, consultants is, right. They understand that it's important. We all understand, like, if we want things to happen, we have to take certain actions. But then I think the consistency is not having the correct processes and systems in place that permit you, that facilitate you to be more consistent. And I think that that's something that grabs my attention as I've connected with a lot of people and dealt with different clients and different types of relationships. I noticed that becomes a challenge, right, for people to understand what systems can I implement to help me remain consistent. Because a lot of times you start off well, but then you eventually start to plateau, right, as time goes on, and that's where the systems come into place to help check you, to help keep you in the right place and maintain that consistency. Because it's good to start, but it's even better, and where the growth happens is when you're able to consistently take action and do things daily that will directly impact your growth of your company. And that takes a plan, it takes strategy and systems to help you maintain that. What do you think, Philip?
Yeah, that is definitely by default an amazing topic. And have several thoughts. Quite often, I like to compare it with sport activity. Simply, both of us, we have previous experience as the athletes, etc. The point is simple. If somebody in sports reaches some level of success, win the championship and whatever, does that person stops with training? No. The same thing is with business. One big challenge business wise is patience. We already spoke previously about that. People start with great strength, the idea, and they are,
Energy. They got a lot of energy. Yeah.
yeah, high energy, and everything is awesome for some time. If they don't receive the expected results, they say, it's not working. Let's switch this. Let's switch that, or simply stop doing it because that doesn't give us adequate results. The point is, if you are doing something meaningful, educate the audience. You're out there and building your personal and professional authority as a go-to person for doing and resolving some challenges, which can be helpful and supportive for other businesses and other business owners and the systems. It is only a matter of time when you'll get an inbound lead. Practically, it is an educational marketing what you are doing out there, and being constantly on top of the game, holding yourself accountable and consistent will definitely give you adequate results. What is also a challenge, what is happening of, hey, businesses are doing something consistently, reach some level of success, onboarding new clients, everything is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And we are sworn by obligations. We cannot do this or manage that. We are filled. We don't need this. big mistake. It's not the point that you are constantly in the selling mode or promoting yourself. The point is you need to have constant level of engagement and the activity, because nowadays if you are not enhancing your system and advancing, you are by default stagnating. So it is only a matter of your choice where you want to be, in which seat you want to sit. That is my 2 cents on that.
No, and I think you brought a good point towards the beginning there of how people kind of start off a certain way, right, with that high energy, and we see it. I think we've seen it a lot with like consultants, solopreneurs, people who tend to start their journey without needing an actual team, where a lot of their focus is on just on them, right? And it kind of makes it more difficult for them to like keep that energy up because they don't have like that team factor. But that's where I think we spoke about it before, is having the right systems, but also I believe we've spoken on other videos about mentorship, right? I think that's also another important key, is for you to understand where you want to go and have somebody who's already gotten there that can help you stay focused along the way. That's helped me out a lot, and I know Filip has talked about this as well, right? In terms of mentorships, we've had a conversation on this, and I think that's a big part of it, right? Because a lot of times consistency is all about understanding what your priorities are, following a set system that you implement within your business that allows you to do everything that you know needs to get done on a daily basis, right? So it's basically a part automation, part of it is delegation, right? Understanding what's important for you to do and what really is not as important and can be delegated or automated in some way, because that's going to help you with consistency. Because if you got too much stuff on your table and you have this hectic, right, everything is happening at once, and you don't have the systems in place, obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to remain consistent because you have so much going on. But that's where the systems and having the business processes in place and having a mentor to help you fine tune those processes along the way will help you remain consistent, right? So that you're doing the activities and you're following up with the people or with the processes that you need to follow up with, so that things remain on that consistent basis and you're doing the things you need to do daily to get to your results. And like you said, patience is key. I think in the world we live in, it's a lot of focus on like getting results as soon as possible. You just Google something, you get the results immediately, right? The online world is all about like, I need information now, give it to me as soon as possible. And I think that kind of has impacted the expectations of entrepreneurs, right? And also the online world has exposed us to the success of others.
Yeah.
And then when we see that, we don't understand the consistency, the hard work, the determination that is a part of the journey for a lot of these people that actually do end up in a successful position. But it's through a lot of processes and consistency and work that goes into that, and we don't really understand that there's a investment that you have to do, an investment of energy, of time, and you being patient and consistent enough, right? Being determined enough, like you said, to do what you have to do. Doesn't matter if you have high energy or low energy, or if it's a good day or a bad day, you do what you have to do. You remain consistent because you understand that in the long run, that's what's going to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, I completely agree with everything. And when you mentioned the system and the relevance and the importance of having a system and SOPs, etc., for every frame and element of the business, I'm always emphasizing that. In the same time, it is good culture-wise in your business, no matter you're a solopreneur or having employees, etc., to have the accountability wingman, meaning no matter the role in the company. You have the partner who is taking care of it, like a good old bird sitting on the right shoulder, helping, supporting you, poking you. Gio, you need to do this. Phil, you need to do that. That is very good. It also boosts the productivity and also taking cares of and holds you accountable for the actions, especially if you are working in the environment when you are not alone. No matter you have employees, no matter you're working with contractors, but that is a two-way street and one important element of communication and culture inside the business. We, as said previously, we completely put aside the systematic approach, everything being well documented and followed by adequate educational materials, onboarding system and everything. But this is an additional layer which is helping and supporting all involved to get the best of the results possible out there and all of us to succeed in our joint venture and goals.
No, you're right, Filip, and I think that's an important aspect that you mentioned, which is it kind of goes with what we mentioned earlier about mentorship, right? But what you're saying is sort of like having an actual, like, that's where coaches and consultants are valuable, right? Where they're kind of people who hold you accountable, at least, right? A good consultant or coach, right? They'll push you when you need to be pushed, right? They know how to do that. They understand the personality types and how to deal with different people and what motivates and pushes different personalities. And I think that's important, right? Especially in different phases of growth, right? Because a solopreneur who's starting off is going to maybe need a specific type of motivation that maybe could come from a friend or a mentor versus somebody who's on a higher level, maybe more their journey, they're more farther along on their journey. They may need to actually hire somebody because it comes to a point where you start to scale, have a team, etc. And really you start to not have anybody above you. So you have everybody below you as the owner, but nobody above you. So that kind of becomes a limit in itself, because who tells you what's wrong? Because you're telling everybody else what they have to improve on under you in the organization. But then who tells you where you have to improve? Who tells you where you have to be more consistent? And that's where it becomes a challenge for, right, as entrepreneurs and business owners scale up, is that accountability. Like you said, who's going to hold the owner accountable when they're the owner, right? And that's where it becomes challenging, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And then that's when it becomes dangerous, where you start to make decisions and you think, you don't realize that you're on the next level, that maybe you don't understand certain things, and you need that extra push from somebody from the outside to help you get to that next level of growth. And I think that's where really good consultants and coaches are highly valuable for people, because those people who are valuable and understand how to exchange value in those situations will really push you in the right areas, and like you said, will help open up your mind and hold you accountable, and they will ask you the right questions and push you in the right ways so that you come to like self-realization. And it's like, oh, wait a second, yeah, you know what, I didn't think about it that way, you're right. And then you start to help that person open up their mindset along the way, and that helps create right, we're talking about growth and consistency when you have somebody there to hold you accountable. So yeah, I do agree with that as well, Filip. That is a good point.
Yeah, because very often people already have the answer and the solution for challenges which are in front of them, but they need help and support from the environment just to poke them and push them just a little bit, or help them verbalize and materialize the challenge and the solution for it. Especially people who are high achievers, very proactive and everything. For them, it is in that terms easier, because they need only a small amount of a nudge forward to make that leap of faith. Because quite often, the difference between stagnation and actually growing, it's small magic chunk of help and support from professional, somebody who did that, as you mentioned previously today, and that's it. And also very important is that us as business owners, the managers, whatever, no matter we have a solopreneurship or company with the employees, contractors, etc., the bigger kind of systems, that we analyze the situation, and we always need to be taking care of the scope of our realm of activities in which we are truly excelling and where we are bad at and where we need the guidance, help, and support. And in that respectable realm, the coverage of professional, the colleague who is stronger in that respectable realm can truly help you and support you to strive and go forward.
No, I like that, Philip. Yeah, and I think it comes down, like you said, those little nudges, right? Sometimes it could be the right type of consultant. Sometimes it's adding on a specific processes or process within the organization that helps you, right, save a lot of time or lowers your cost significantly, right? It comes back. I like to say we've talked about this, but the 80-20, right? It all comes back to that. It's like, right, 80% of what you want to achieve will end up coming from like 20% of right, a specific action. So it's actually that 20% that you have to try to discover to get that consistency and growth. But yeah, I mean, it was a great conversation today, and I mean, I appreciate being here on another call with you on another week, Philip. So today we were able to talk about consistency, growth, and those details to help founders, consultants with consistency and growth. And I think that's an important topic, and it was a pleasure to be here with you.
Likewise, Gio. Yeah, I think that we have covered practically everything what we had in mind for today. It was awesome, and yeah, catching up soon then.
Have a good one, Philip. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.